So I don't have a permanent filming space set up anymore. And I'm actually waiting to finish an area over here so that I can sort of have a filming space to like easily set up and tear down. And I'm trying to film here for the next like few actually sat down and filmed videos. And the struggle is real. I don't know where to put the camera clearly, and I don't know how to light it randomly. My brain has just forgotten. I don't know. I blame 2020. Anywho, that's what's going on for the next few videos that are actually sat down and filmed. Sorry about the yikes. But it's not a huge problem. I will figure it out eventually. Just, I wanted to let you know, yes, I do know the angle is terrible. Yes, I do know the lighting isn't perfect. I'm working on it. I might just move stuff so I can film in what will be my filming spot, but also doubles other things, obviously. Permanent, like, more regularly, because this shit ain't working. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that's what's up. Because this in particular looks like I'm being held ransom. Oh, man. Anyway, enjoy me wanting to destroy the existence of this book because I don't like it. So, yeah.
Hi guys. Sorry about the lighting. I'm still trying to figure that out, and this is currently covering a mess that is the desk behind me, and it's a disaster as well. So, ignore that. Today I want to talk about this book. Follow me on Instagram, and a couple of weeks ago you saw me rage about this book, which is Inside the Black Vault, the government's UFO secrets revealed. By that he means the U.S. government, not other governments, really. The first thing that should have warned me was the size, but of course I didn't know that because I did curbside in my local public library, so I couldn't have told the size then. So, yeah. How do I begin? This book starts out, and I was actually really optimistic about how it started out, because it starts out with the author saying that he's not for or against, that he believes in all of this alien stuff, but that he's not going to try to sway the narrative or any of that, and this is just, like, written for everybody to, like, prove documents. Well, one thing, there's not many documents printed in this book, and that's a huge problem. There's, like, snippets of documents. I'll show you, like, down footage in a second, but there's, like, snippets of documents and pieces of documents, but not whole documents like are in a lot of the other UFO books I've read, even ones that are exceedingly biased that I've read. They provide appendices or the full document provided that's been, declassified, etc. And they actually reveal the entire document. He doesn't do that. He, intentionally doesn't do that because he wants to push people to go to his site. And that is just... that's a whole other problem. That is an entire other problem I have with this author. Sorry, let me just you. That he does continuously in this book. It's a pet peeve I have with anybody, really, that's not directly correlated in setting. So, he doesn't do, here's this document, here's my interpretation of it, here's my blah, blah, blah. You can view just the document, just this that he's gotten from the U.S. government with a Freedom of Information Act request on his website. It's not that. It's, well, I proved it and blah, 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 blah.
Again, I set my lights up to film my table a couple of nights, and I was like, oh crap, I have to film these videos. So these videos also don't have me, looking at the camera properly because I'm looking directly into a light, and that hurts my eyeballs. I know it's not great. I know I should adjust stuff, and I'm working, again, just grace, until I have, other stuff handled. Don't worry. I'm working on it. We'll figure out a solution. I just wanted to let you know, yes, I know that. No, I'm not looking off into something random. Sometimes I'm checking to make sure my audio is still recording. But I'm attempting to look up, and then my eyes are going, ow, 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 ow. I'm like purposely looking away, even though my brain thinks I'm looking at the camera. They're like slightly off because it hurts. So, FYI, that's why that's happening. Again, I is sorry, but that's why that's happening.
So the first couple chapters are decent. They're, you know, it's heavily swayed in fully believing basically not lizard people. You know, being in our world leader is not that crazy problematic piece. Not that. Let me put this in perspective. If it came out, or if somebody were to tell me that the author of this book stormed the Capitol on the 6th of January, I would not be shocked. Literally, from about chapter 9, if I remember correctly, to the end of the book, is just the author trying to prove how more masculine he is. And it's very... like, dude, you need a therapist-ish. It's so problematic. I'm even having trouble describing it. Because, you know, the first couple chapters are relatively okay. He's keeping himself in check. And then after that, it's a lot of, well, I figured it out, or I forced them to tell me because I kept persisting with Freedom of Information requests, and I did this and I did that, and it's very self-grandizing. It's very, 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 very misogynistic. Half of this book legitimately feels like this man is having a measuring contest with the U.S. military. I'm not kidding. It legitimately feels like that. He complains. Okay, so for context, if you file a Freedom of Information request form to a specific government body for a specific thing, they have to, by law, look for it. That's all they have to do. If they find something, they can request payment for copies, which I don't know because I've never done it. They're probably digital now, but again, I have no idea. Back in the day, they would actually copy them, print them, and then ship them to you or mail them to you, plus the time of people having to do that labor, which makes total sense. Just like in some research libraries, you are expected to pay to have, not in all research libraries, several of course are free and open to the public, but some of the more rare collections or the private collections do ask you to pay to be there because you are utilizing their facilities, and that makes total sense. It's the same type of thing, which I've never and really don't have a problem with even now. It just feels like the author is saying this because he's like, the U.S. government is just like taking money from me, and I'm just like, or you asked them to do work and they did it, and now they want payment for that work. Every once in a while there will be this big like releasal of documentation from like the CIA or the Air Force or insert other government body here, at least in the US, and they will release all this stuff about UFOs or anything. And then all of a sudden people can request for the actual forms, and before then they can't find them or they're not accessible. This man directly calls out people that are career military, as essentially being cowards and frauds because they didn't release the information to them. Sir, they have careers, and they want to protect them. God. Like, I'm not somebody who would ever do well in the military.
For the sake of context, it comes off very similar to the way people are going after Vice President Harris for not saluting, even though the Vice President doesn't salute because the Vice President isn't in charge of the military. Only the president salutes or members of the military. I'm not sure if the vice president is a former military member or a current service member, if they would then salute. I don't know how that would work. Again, not military, have no idea. What I do know is the office of the vice president does not salute to military getting off of Air Force 2, Marine 2, at locations, etc. Military are still expected to salute the vice president, but it's not vice versa like it is with the president. The president always salutes on and off of Air Force 1, on and off of Marine 1, to soldiers, and this book comes across very much like he would be peddling the same idea. And again, obviously this is on my perception of this one book that this man wrote. I want to be very clear about that, but also it does come across that way, and it's hella problematic. So, again, I'm not saying that he's from the Capitol. I feel like I need to say that. I'm not saying that that happened at all. If it did, yikes. That's not what I'm saying. I want to be very, very clear. I'm not accusing this man of doing that. What I am saying is that that is the way this book comes across. So just FYI.
I know people that are in the military. I have friends that are in the military, and like, you don't just get promoted. Like, it's a big deal, and it takes a lot of work, and you have to give your, like, career to the military. And he, like, at least gives the impression that he's expecting these, you know, colonels and generals to bank their career for his research, which he claims is groundbreaking because he's been sending files into the U.S. military to get Freedom of Information Request Acts for years since he was like 15. Which, in my opinion, exclusively in my opinion, is not groundbreaking research. But that's just me. I feel like there's a lot of other people doing groundbreaking research, even in ufology, but more specifically in any level of paranormal research. And yes, some of it will involve that stuff, and some of it will involve those things, and some of it will involve outside experts. Which is just like every chapter it gets like worse and worse and worse, and he gets angrier and angrier and angrier, and it's like, I just, again, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if it came out that this man that wrote this book stormed the Capitol. Like, I would not be shocked if this man stormed the Capitol. At all. Like, it is, at points, not as bad as some of the stuff, at least according to people that, you know, pay attention to what these people say on the internet and report it back on TikTok. So, grain of salt. It's not as bad as some of the most extreme stuff, but some of this is extreme. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Some of this shit is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Anywho, I can't not recommend this book enough. I think I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. I can pull that up on my phone actually, because I'm holding my phone. But yeah, I book, like, I cannot underestimate estimate of any level how shitty this book is and how much you don't want to read it. Yeah, I gave it 2 stars. I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. It's linked below, and I basically follow anyone who follows me because it's just literally book reviews in my book list. So I'm not very active. I'm active on there, but don't expect a lot of like back and forth on that platform. But yeah, so I just don't get this book. Don't read this book. I mean, if you want to read it, but don't buy this book. I have read, even if nothing in them is true, books about this whole Roswell thing, which is not going to be out this month, and I'm sorry about that. But I'm down. I'm down to, like, I think 8.5 books, 9.5 books, something like that. Maybe 11 books. And I'm down to that. So we're getting there. But it will be out in April. It will be out in April. But anyway, I've read so many other books that are a million times better than this. In fact, I'm just saying, as like purely as a book, get any of those over this piece of garbage. Unless you want to read the ravings of a man who doesn't provide a lot of documentation, again, I will show you, but this is the amount of documentation we're given. Like that. Again, you'll see about 3 other videos in the next couple days where I'm like, do not get this book, because I don't like it. Like, I really don't like it. Just don't get this book. I don't recommend.
The reason closing out this video is all wobberjawed and not working right. I don't know why. But anyhow, in conclusion, I will give this a fake Bigfoot body as far as ratings go. And it will be linked down below, of course. It'll be an Amazon not affiliated link, just for your ease and my safety and your safety. If and when that ever changes, I will inform you. But yeah, it's down below. Read it if you want. I don't recommend it at all. There are in the card and in the description book reviews for other UFO books I've read more recently that I recommend way, way, way more. Again, even just purely as books. And yeah, don't. It's just, if you want to read it, go for it. But you're not getting it recommended from me. In fact, you're getting it anti-recommended from me. So, yeah. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles.